Hey guys, what's up? It's Seth with InDemandCareer.com. I show people how to get jobs in digital marketing with no previous experience or education. And that includes my very special guest today, Cory, who is 22, 22 years old, and started my course in 2017 when he was, that would have been 19.
Right.
And he has been working remotely since he started. He's one of these students who managed to get remote positions before it was hip, before COVID, and he lives in North Dakota. So if you guys are living in rural areas or less populated areas, and you think that there's, you're not, I can't work in digital marketing, listen to Cory's story. So welcome, Cory. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. You've probably heard this a lot, but it's weird, like talking to you versus like watching the videos, but
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
Oh, you'll do great. So let's talk for a moment about where you're at right now during COVID. You're 22 years old, no college degree.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm working with the agency. We're all fully remote, the whole team, and I'm their Google Ads manager for 90% of the accounts right now. And I help out with a few website things too, but mainly just focus on Google Ads.
Awesome. And so how much are you making, and what is your work arrangement? Is this full-time, part-time? What's going on?
Right now I make 33 an hour, which is pretty nice. And I get I don't really have set hours. I just got to make at least 20. I can work more if need be, but 20 is kind of like how much I need to get essentially. But my scheduling too, they let me schedule out to work whenever I want. They've even told me themselves they don't care when I work, just that I get it done. So that helps me out a lot too.
Oh my gosh. And so just $33 an hour at 22 with no college degree is pretty amazing. And you're working part-time. Was this a choice? Did you choose to work part-time? Do you enjoy that, or did you want to work more hours?
It actually was a choice. They initially wanted me to work full-time, but I personally, at the time, and even right now, I didn't see a need for it. And I'm able to help out more with my family, doing things for them as well. So yeah, right now it's a good situation for me.
That is, I don't think you even realize how unusually great that situation is. You've chosen to work part-time because you're making so much hourly, and now you have that work-life balance where you have the freedom to work when you want, and you're available for your family, and you're not and you're doing something that you enjoy.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about let's go back to how you got into all this, because of course people watching this are wondering about this career path and how they can get into it, and if you need some kind of prerequisite. So tell me, what was your life like? What were you doing at age 19 when you discovered the course?
So I was working for my dad. He has a tree business here in our town. I was just doing that. And I knew, I was kind of just looking around for a different career, I guess. Something that I would be able to move around, like travel or move somewhere else, not be stuck in one place. And I ended up finding your course by just looking up just kind of random things that interested me, like affiliate marketing with affiliate links, things like that. And that's how I ended up stumbling on your course. And I've heard of Google Ads and SEO before, but I don't know. I just saw your course and it seemed like a good opportunity, so I signed up.
And so let me just ask you this. You were 19, and had you thought about going to college? Did you have any pressure on you to go to college or to get a career or anything?
I was thinking about it. My parents didn't pressure me at all to go, which is nice. But the problem with me is I really did not know what I would have went for personally. And I did not want to go into college without a plan, because you know that you build up a lot of debt by doing that. So I I decided to take your course. I was interested in computers. That was something I was thinking about for college, but again, no set plan. So
Got it. So you're 19. You take the course in August of 2017, and then when did you get your first kind of entry level opportunity?
right. So I got my first entry level job in December of that same year, and even before that, I I signed up on Upwork, created a profile, and that's how I found out that agency and got that job. But what really helped me actually get that first entry level job too was the interviews you did with other students. I think it was Karen actually, where she suggested to create a intro video of yourself to give to potential employers, and especially on Upwork, so that they can really face to face. And that's they even told me themselves that's what kind of pointed me out more than others, was listening to that.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Um, do you still have that video?
I think I do.
It's old,
Yeah,
but I'd
it's
like to
old.
see it.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Cory, and I just wanted to create a shorter video introducing myself, talk a little bit more about my experience, and why I think I can help your business or company develop a higher quality leads and conversion rate, as well as a more profitable ROI.
So, and the first entry level job you had, was this a company or agency in North Dakota where you live?
No, it was fully remote.
Fully
Fully
remote.
remote. Yep.
Um, that's amazing. So so you've been remote from the beginning. So, so what was it like at the first job? What were you doing? How did what you learned in the course prepare you for the first job?
Right. So in the beginning, I sent them that Excel file that we created in your course, and he really liked that, the way it was organized. So he really liked that, which led to the phone call with the owner. And we just kind of talked back and forth, just talking a little bit about the industry mainly. And from there, he said that he would create a work email for me, and I would start as an AdWords manager assistant.
That's amazing. And so, yeah, like I say, guys, if you're in my course, do the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And and then I imagine in that conversation, he was just gauging your kind of, as I say, knowing the language, having a kind of a sense of things. He wasn't looking for 5 years experience managing big accounts. And then they brought you in as an assistant, which is a fantastic first position to have, because you get to learn. You get paid to learn rather than paying a school to teach you nothing. So what were you learning? Like, how did it go in that first job?
Right. So I was mainly doing some small management tasks, and then that led to structuring campaigns for clients. And it also involved emailing clients about certain things we were doing, which helped me a lot with talking to, even if it's just through email, talking to other clients, kind of learning the lingo for that. And then I started learning different strategies that they used. And from there, they started slowly giving me like a few accounts here and there to manage. And then I was essentially their second AdWords manager.
That's awesome. That's how it goes. And how many accounts or how much of a total budget were you managing at that point?
Oh man, it's been a while since I worked with them, but we had some very big clients. One of them, one of them was the number three largest HOA company in USA.
Wow.
That was our biggest one, because we had like 12 different accounts we had to make for each branch. And then another one that was really fun, that was big spender. They sold Emmy tickets for like VIP Emmy kind of parties and things like that in Hollywood. And that was a
Wow.
lot of fun to work with too.
And what kind of budgets were you talking about?
I know like the HOA company, they spent at least 15 to 20,000 a month. Um, the Emmy awards, like VIP, CMA kind of party stuff, I think that was I'm honestly not sure. Around 5,000 a month.
It was a while ago,
Yeah,
but you know, you're 19 at this point.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So even we're not talking millions, but they're handing a 19-year-old 20, $30,000 a month in ad spend because of your knowledge and the skills you demonstrated in the interview. And that's
Right.
amazing. So tell me, yeah, so what happened next? How long did you stay there and how did you end up in your current position?
Sure. I was with them for, let me think, around 6 to 8 months. I was working with them. And then at the time, I had a little extra time. So I took a side job on Upwork of helping another agency. And that was only like 5 hours a week. And what happened with them is something happened to their main AdWords manager that was not good. So they had to get rid of him. And then they immediately asked me like, hey, we want you to work with us like all the hours that you can. What do we need to do to get this done? And then I moved over to them.
That's awesome. And what were you making hourly at your first job to your second job?
So my first job, when I was like in beginner AdWords manager, I was only making 18 an hour, which I knew I could have been making more too, but I really did like working with those guys. And then switched over to these guys. I started with 30 an hour in the beginning.
You doubled it.
Yeah,
I just want to point out to you guys that the average college graduate is making $25,000 a year, which is about $12 to $13 an hour. And he was making 18 at his first entry level position with no degree, and then doubled that within about 8 months. And Cory, this is the job you still have now, right?
correct.
Awesome. And how much do you know about how much budget you're managing at this point with your current just an estimate, your current company?
I would say we're working with more local companies for the most part right now. So in total, I would say probably around 45,000 a month, like with all the accounts accrued.
So what's it been like for your business during COVID? Has, business just stopped? Is there like any kind of major problems? What's it like?
So honestly, since the beginning of COVID-19 has started, not a lot for us has changed. We've had a few like dentists clients we work with and an eye doctor. For them, performance did go down at the time, but even so, performance for other accounts went up, and we even landed 3 to 4 new clients in the past, the months that this has been going on. And actually, we have one client that sells disinfectant products, and their return on ad spend just flew up. Like they immediately out of stock. We had to keep putting them back in stock and then immediately back out.
Wow. That's great to know because that's really how it is, guys, is like you're absolutely, there are some businesses that unfortunately are really obviously, dentists and restaurants can't open or people aren't coming, but there's so many other businesses. And that's the same attitude I have about the jobs, is that they're definitely jobs that have gone away, or I would say are temporarily, not there, but there are other agencies like this that they are still onboarding new clients, and they need help. They need people like Cory. They need people like my students. So didn't you just take a trip to Mexico?
Yeah, last March. Yep. And
Well, this March before all the craziness, right?
this March, actually, I had to go home earlier because of what was going on, but we're still able to make a trip there. And I usually go there once a year. I've even been able to spend a month there a few years ago. But what's nice with working with a full remote team is I just let them know I'm going to be traveling, but I still get my work done. And if I need a little help here and there, I'll ask for it. But again, it's not a big deal. Like I don't have to ask for time off. I just tell them, you know, hey, I'm going to be gone for this long, and that's pretty much it.
That's fantastic. What does your family think of your career, and how's it changed your relationship with them?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. When I first started, you know, my dad's not too not into technology at all. So he didn't get how I was just sitting on a computer, you know, making money. But they like it now, you know, it's a good job for me. I get to help them out still, help out my family quite a bit with this job, which has been probably one of the biggest benefits for me personally, honestly.
Yeah, you're I and also yeah, try not to turn your face away from the microphone when you're talking.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep talking towards it. You're doing good. I'm gonna cut up these parts of it, don't worry. Or maybe I'll leave them in. People like it when it's raw. What was I gonna say? So when you say help out your family, do you mean just like what's going on, like anything going on with your family, or is it like how's your dad's business doing? Like what do you just mean being able to spend time with your family?
Right. I do help my dad with his work, not as often, but you know, when I can, a few jobs here and there. And then I help out my grandma. We have to have someone with her 24/7. So we kind of take shifts essentially, staying with her.
Okay, wow, that's great. I mean, I'm impressed that you're able to provide, you know, and contribute to your family like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, so, and financially, as far as your parents go, you know, you're like a very rare case of someone who's 22 and you're self-sufficient now. And you live in North Dakota, which is a pretty low cost of living. Tell me a little bit about your life. Do you have your own place? What's that like?
Well, actually, right now I'm saving almost everything I'm making. I still live in with my parents right now. They don't even like the idea of me moving out, but I am going to soon. But yeah, I've just been saving my money. So mainly I'm saving it so that when I do move out, I don't have to worry about rent for months and months is my plan.
That sounds like a great plan, man. And if you wanted to ever, could you just tell the agency, is there still a need, like where you would say, hey guys, listen, I'm ready to work more. I want to make more. I need more hours. Would they give you more hours?
Oh yeah, 100%. Even if I started doing that just now, they'd be okay with it. We're working on kind of rebranding the way we work with our clients, the way we create funnels for them. So we definitely will be getting more work here soon, which I'm looking forward to too.
That's great, man. Have you found like, I'm just curious, like personally, because North Dakota is one of like the least populated areas in the US. Has there been any impact from COVID there, or has it been pretty like, oh, this is happening everywhere else, but not here?
Sure. It has impacted us in more so in the beginning. Right now, people, you know, things are slowly going back to normal here, but we did still have restaurants and businesses shut down. I've had a few friends who actually lost their job because the oil field is big here. And if the oil field goes down, then a lot of people will lose their jobs, you know.
Right, right. Um, but now things are starting to kind of open, and there's not really been any resurgence in your area.
No, not in our area. Maybe in the eastern side of North Dakota. I think things are still not great, but not bad either. But where I live, I think there's like 40 people that have it still.
Oh, wow. And where do you live in North Dakota?
Dickinson, North Dakota, very small town, like 22,000 to 25,000 population.
Okay. And What's the weather like there? This is like I've taught, but like yeah. What's the weather like there? I've always wondered that.
Honestly, in summers it's hot, like 90 degrees, 80 to 90 degrees, even above. And then winter, it gets freezing cold, man. Negative 40 wind chill, negative 60 wind chill.
Oh my gosh.
There's always wind here. That's the one thing I hate.
Have you ever thought about moving out of the town? I know you're close with your family, you're close with your grandma, or at least moving out during the winter. Have you thought about that, given your...
That's usually when I travel, is during winter to get out of it.
Okay, so tell me about your travel with this job. I know I only know about Mexico. What else have you done?
Other than Mexico, I'll like house sit for a family I have in Montana. Stay at their house for a few weeks usually, or I'll just go on some short trips with friends. But in terms of traveling, I was planning a really fun trip to like Iceland and Ireland this year, but that kind of got axed with everything going on.
But I was just wondering, did you plan on going anywhere warmer in the winter?
Yeah.
During the winter.
During winter is usually when we go to Mexico, and that's usually where we mainly go in winter. I don't know. I probably should think of other warmer places to go to, though.
Or, I mean, you could spend longer, like, because that's the cool thing about, this kind of a position is like, once travel opens up, you can be in Mexico, you can be in Southeast Asia, you can be in South America, you could, that I've always thought that for myself, if I ever come back to, like my family lives in upstate New York, and that's always been other than the taxes, that's always been the deterrent for me, is like the winters. And there's like no skiing in North Dakota, right? It's pretty flat.
Yeah, it's 100% flat here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a few hills, but not much.
Let me ask you this. Do you have any other like side business or entrepreneurial pursuits that you're doing?
Currently, no. I have thought of like kind of reorganizing my Upwork account, because you can get quick gigs from that pretty easily with Google Ads and digital marketing in general, to be honest. But with these guys, I've just been committing my time to them because that's what they appreciate most about me, is being able to do that. So
yeah,
right now, no.
Yeah. What do you think are the qualities that you demonstrated that won you over to these guys?
The biggest thing is just being completely honest with them, because you're remote, so they have to trust you. So even if I make a few small mistakes in the beginning, something simple like pausing or deleting old ads when we want them just paused to save the data, I let them know that, and it's not a big deal, but they still appreciate it because I'm not like hiding things from them. And they've told me themselves that's what they like so much, is just the honesty that you can provide. That I don't know. I think they like me a little too much at times, but I like it.
What do you mean?
They just say they've told me that I'm like the unicorn, someone that they caught from Upwork or something. That's what they told me.
Well, I will speak to that. Number one, you've got that great Midwestern humility.
Yeah.
You're like, can't take it's like compliments are not allowed. But it's true, guys. This is what we're teaching in my course, is I want to teach you to be a unicorn like this, because Upwork, as you know, so Cory went the freelance route, but something I teach in the course, there's people like Cory, and even, Karen, I share her story, how she was freelancing on Upwork and she got that great client, the bilingual insurance company. They were for the Hispanic and the Hispanic American or South American market. And she ended up working with them like a job for like a year or two. I think she still works with them, actually, even while she has a full-time job in San Francisco. But she got that through a short-term gig on Upwork. But you really do have an opportunity to stand out there. And I actually added a video about this in the course, because I showed all the top earning and top charging PPC SEO people, because they really this is something Danny Margulies talks about too in Freelance to Win. It's, you know, it's like premium service versus rock bottom shitty service. And so the problem on Upwork, one of the reasons people also initially have trouble getting their profiles approved, which is something I walk you through in the course, it's normal, is because there are so much crappy providers, right, on Upwork. There's people from all around the world. There's people that don't know what they're doing. There's people, this is something Nick Schulander talks about a lot in videos, where because he's worked with so many clients that come to him after another agency has just wrecked them, right?
Yeah.
Do you get clients like that who come to you guys after it's like, oh, we work with this other agency and they did this?
Oh yeah, it's something we see a lot whenever we audit an account. If they're with 50% of the time, if they're with a previous agency, there's something going on. Like a lot of times we see they just set things up and then automate it and then hardly touch it, is what we find.
Wow, that brings up a great point. Listen, this was happening. This is happening like 7 years ago when got my first agency job, you know, and we would, you know, and when I got one of my gigs, it happens all the time. It's very common. And that's really great opportunity for guys like you or my students who know how to do it the right way. And the other thing is like your personality, like you said. And a lot of these agencies the problem with a lot of them is they have really good sales teams, but they often, like if you have an agency that has a great sales team and great support, that's where you do really well. But some of them have great sales teams that take advantage of these business owners who don't know anything about Google, and then they provide shitty support or they bring on too many accounts, and then, you know, the business owners feel used.
Exactly. You know what's funny is the first agency I worked with, mainly all of our clients were actually partnering with other bigger agencies, and all we would do is take over the overflow of clients they had. They just give them to us, like kind of like a partnership. So it's definitely happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think and people really still understand, even with what's happening, the volume of businesses there are in the United States and other countries, but particularly in the US, there's millions.
Yeah.
And there's also millions of digital marketers. And again, my whole point is like, don't be intimidated when you see a lot of applicants for a position. They're usually not very good. And companies want someone that even has the basics of what I teach. I tell that story. When I took over at my first in-house job, I literally made like 4 changes to their ads account that was blowing through. They were spending $60,000 a month. And this was an industry with $30, $40 CPCs. And I made like 3 changes initially and saved them like thousands of dollars just from stupid stuff.
Right. No, that's insane. Probably like location targeting, you know, simple things like that. Even still, agencies will mess up on in the initial setup.
And that's even when I'm talking to you guys about your resume and applying, is like put care into things. You know I talk a lot about money, but your personality, your integrity, your vibe goes a long way on top of your skills. You have to have the skills, but you know, companies appreciate this.
Exactly. And that's why, again, if anyone's signing up for a remote position, create a video and send it to them so that they can see your face. They can kind of get your personality, even if it's a 2-3 minute video, because that really is the biggest thing that I would say that, you know, kind of pointed me out from the others that applied for that first entry position I had.
Absolutely, especially for remote. And you know what? I want to see your video, and I'm going to, you know, I mentioned this in the course, and I know Karen mentions it, but I definitely need to focus it more for people, because I know there's so much in the course to absorb. But
Right.
You're right, especially these days where, honestly, I think it's even better now because people are now much more used to video and meeting people through video.
That's true, yeah.
It's become normal. And let me ask you this. Again, I may cut this around this depending on your answer, but So you said that your agencies really would give you more hours. Are they hiring? Are they still looking for new people?
So our plan is to do that in the future. But as I mentioned earlier, we're kind of, we've kind of been under the radar with this agency, working with a lot of local companies. And right now we're creating like informational videos, kind of teaching people how they can, rebrand and fix their marketing plan, showing them like the different funnels that you need to create. And so we're doing that, and we're going to be advertising those videos kind of as like they sign up and they get a different video each day. And our plan is to land more clients doing this. Right now, they're not looking to hire, but it's something we've talked about in the not far
let
past.
me know when you're, this is a great opportunity. Just, I got dozens of people like you.
Right, right. 100%.
So more unicorns, if you will. And, again, in my course, I never know who's actually going to follow through. But it's a good pool of applicants. So
Definitely is.
let me know when that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it sounds awesome. So let me think here. It was 8:45. This is great. Let me just think of how I want to wrap this up, because it's been a good talk. And and that was really good advice about the video. So anyway, Cory, it's been great talking to you. It's very inspiring. I don't even think you realize how inspiring it is for people to see that this is possible. You can be, you can have no experience, come right out of high school, no college degree, be young, and have access to these opportunities. And then you can really take it wherever you want. I mean, I'm blown away that you're 22. Because when you're my age, you're gonna be, you'll be doing very well. So is there any last words of advice or anything you'd like to say to people watching the video? Any advice or words of inspiration?
I don't know if this is for everyone, but me personally, in the beginning, I had a problem. I'm generally an introvert myself, so I had a problem like pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And especially remote too, that's something you're gonna have to do with talking to people you don't know, creating videos, talking to clients. So all I can really say is if you're nervous, just keep pushing yourself, and you're gonna be surprised with what you can do personally. That's from my experience, because I never thought I would be the guy to talk to clients, the guy to, tell them what we need to do to fix things, but it ended up working, I guess.
Yes, that's great, man. I would love to. I just recorded some videos about job interviews, and I was thinking about the personal component. I do get people writing to me who say, I'm not, that outgoing. I'm shy. I'm not good with people. Kind of want to hide away on their computer. And I always say, well, you need to talk to clients. But what I also say is you can learn and grow those skills. Communication. You're not just an introvert. That's something I don't like about some of these personality tests. Like first of all, no human being is born an introvert.
Right.
Like, babies are not introverted. There's no baby that's about to cry and then it's like, wait a minute, I don't want to bother anyone. Like, it's conditioning. And so,
exactly.
Yeah, you may be more reserved than other people. You don't have not everyone's going to be screaming, like really, really center of attention, but you have, you can develop the confidence. And it sounds like as you got more experience and confidence, now you feel very comfortable talking to clients, right?
Right. I'm mainly the guy who does talking through email, but I have been a few times, not as much, but getting there to talk to clients anyway. And
so you were hesitant even about email.
in the beginning, it was hard for me to even when I answered that phone call to have like an interview, I was, freaking out about that. But really, taking your course did help me.
So what were your final thoughts there?
So my final thoughts are kind of from my personal experience, in the beginning, I had a hard time pushing myself out of my comfort zone, especially remotely when you're talking to people you don't know, talking to clients, even through email to, people that are business owners. As a 19-year-old, even still kind of makes me a little nervous. But again, if you feel too nervous to do it, just keep slowly pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. And one thing that's helped me a lot as well is finding groups of people to talk to that are in the SEO, the digital marketing industry as a whole. In your forums, when I was in the course, I loved going through those. And even now, I still am in some different like Facebook groups, some Slack groups, just to talk to people about the industry. And it'll just help you gain more confidence, which is what I had a problem with, to talk to clients, to talk the right lingo, the right jargon. But just keep pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. That's really my biggest piece of advice. I in the beginning, I actually had a phone call with Karen, and she kind of told me the same thing, because that's really what I needed to do. But yeah, that's something that I had a problem with, and if anyone else does, just you can do it, man. Just keep pushing.
That's awesome, Cory. Thanks so much. It's been great talking with you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And, I look forward to what you have in your future. And I appreciate the words of inspiration for my current and future students. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this interview, and I will see you next time.